by film.
5,
Stand by music.
4,
Stand by now.
3, 2, 1.
And fade up.
It's the Bellagio, the Mirage, and the MGM Grand.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Mike Wazowski. Open your eyes.
Now tell me, where are the others?
Eat me!
King Kong ain't got on me!
What about second breakfast?
Why not? Why can't I?
How can we be expected to teach children to learn how to read if they can't even fit inside the building?
Welcome, one and all, to another episode of 20 Years, 4 Beers, a show dedicated to rewatching popular movies from 2 decades ago while enjoying 4 modern beers. My name is Steve, and this is my big brother,
Tim.
And we are coming to you from just outside Minneapolis, Minnesota. On this episode, we venture back into the animated genre after our Shrek mini-pod from last time around. And this will be one of a few kids' movies we're covering this year, actually. I was a little surprised by that. Or family films. Maybe not kids' films. Family films. And we will be re-watching 2001's absolute classic of a film.
Masterpiece.
I would say. Monsters, Inc. Actually, I'm going to do a introduction first on this one.
Okay.
So as with the mini-pod of Shrek, if you have been a child, had a child, or been in proximity of a child in the last 20 years, I would say you've probably seen this film.
Absolutely.
Even those who haven't have probably seen this film. As a refresher, though, Monsters, Inc. follows Mike and Sully, who live in a world where the power is generated by gathering the screams of children. The two work on the scare team, and through a series of events find themselves in the protection of a young girl nicknamed Boo. The two discover that the world they thought they knew is not what it seemed, and must fight to change it and get Boo back to her home. It is directed by Pete Docter, David Silverman, and Lee Unkrich. Written by Andrew Stanton and Daniel Gerson, along with lots of story credits. Starring John Goodman, Billy Crystal, Steve Buscemi, James Coburn, and Jennifer Tilly. Whew! There's a lot. So before we dive in, any initial memories on Monsters, Inc. at all?
I remember seeing this in college at the small theater in town. Because by this time, this is Pixar's 4th movie, I think it was.
Sounds right. Yeah.
2 Toy Stories and Bug's Life.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like we always loved animation growing up. And as we grew older, still loved it. But it was like, all right, let's go check this out. Because Pixar by that point had obviously a very good run.
Yeah.
In terms of
3 for 3.
Yeah. A fantastic studio. So we got to check this out. And I just remember loving it. Just being floored by the creativity. And I still remember seeing it. Yeah. It's one of the things how they rendered Sully's fur was shocking at the time.
It made news. Yep.
Yeah, it just was incredible. And the connection and the story, and it was just, I loved it. So I remember that. How about you?
I do probably have the same thing, but I don't necessarily remember it in the theater, but I'm sure I saw it a few times.
Sure.
And, I think I do remember this being probably the film that I realized that Pixar, because at this time it was Pixar.
Yeah.
That Disney did not own them. They were their distributor. But this is when I realized that Pixar was kind of, they were going to release good stuff across the board.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was, they were 4 for 4 at this point, and they were just getting better.
Yep.
So I think that's what I remember most, is sort of this understanding of like, no, this movie studio is going to be legit.
Yes.
So our first segment then, naturally coming from a family film about monsters into booze. Our first segment is going to be Drinking Buddies, where Tim takes us through our 4 beers or drinking buddies that accompany us through the film. We are recording this on our sister's birthday, April 9th. So happy birthday, Andrea.
Happy birthday.
Love you. And we decided to pick beers that we think she potentially would like, or maybe has had.
Yes.
Depends. Tim took this. So no IPAs this episode. there is no
It's
IPA.
tough. I know.
So Tim, what are or who are our drinking buddies that we think Andrea might like?
Yes, our theme this week is less about the movie, but in honor of this wonderful day.
Momentous occasion.
Exactly.
That's
Not when the Civil War was ended long ago, the signing of that treaty.
No.
No, Andre's birthday. So, as well as serendipitous for watching a movie about someone terrorizing younger kids.
Oh.
So,
The worst.
we are starting off with a sour, which I know she likes, from Junkyard Brewing out of Moorhead. Their Play It Cool Dragon Fruit Pineapple Sour. Then we're going to move into probably her favorite beer of all time.
I would think so.
Moose Drool Brown Ale from Big Sky Brewing out of Montana. And then here from the Minnesota area, from Duluth, their Wild State Cidery. It's our first cider that we're going to
Yeah, it's our first cider. Yep.
Yeah, but seems like a bit of a stretch, but we'll allow it. They're raspberry.
Hey, it's on Untapped. We can drink it.
That's true. That's true. We can do that.
There you go.
Raspberry hibiscus cider. And then for our double theme beer, our monster of a beer, we're going with.
Monster.
Also serendipitous because it's from San Diego, where they
Yeah,
reside.
there we go.
Ah.
Yep. There you go. Well done.
AleSmith Brewing Company, their Speedway Stout, Imperial Stout brewed. It's a special release with espresso and Madagascar vanilla, 12%. So that's our beast of a beer at the end.
It's the monster.
The monster. So yes, that's our theme of things that she hopefully and I think in the past has enjoyed.
Yep. So when we do our sequel, we'll review it and then we'll also ask whether or not we think Andrea will like it.
Yes.
So that brings us actually to our next segment, which is the social network. Our look back at the reviews or reactions from the time. Potentially both good and bad. I don't think there's going to be bad, so I'm sure I didn't even look for any. So Tim's going to look at our social network. What did we see for some reviews on this?
Yeah, they were hard to find. IMDb rating is 8.1 out of 10, which so far the movies we've reviewed, that's one of the highest.
That's got to be one of the highest, yep.
Peter Travers of Rolling Stone, 5 out of 5 stars. The directors keep the fun coming, but it's the Pixar animators who keep grown-ups as riveted as the kids with visual marvels that dazzle and delight. Big man Roger Ebert, 3 out of 4 stars, saying the film is cheerful, high-energy fun, and like the other Pixar movies, has a running supply of gags and references aimed at grown-ups. My favorite one was from Empire Magazine, which said, the film is brighter and more exuberant than Shrek. This would be a worthy winner of the first animation Oscar. If only.
Yes.
Oh, Empire.
Foreshadowing.
So close.
Too bad Empire didn't have a vote.
I know. Speaking of Academy Awards that year, it was up for 4 nominations, or nominated 4 times. Best Sound Editing.
Yeah.
Best Original Score by the classic Randy Newman.
Randy Newman. Show up, people.
Best Original Song by Randy Newman. Ultimately won that category after being nominated 14 times prior to this movie.
Yeah.
I do remember this actually thinking, come on, man, please get one.
Yeah, this was not the one he should have won for, but yeah.
No, exactly. And then, as we talked about in the mini-pod with Shrek, but outlined here, for the first ever Best Animated Feature category in the Oscars, it was nominated that year. And as we've talked about for many times, losing to Shrek that year. So that's the social network. Overall, very highly reviewed and positive experience for moviegoers.
All right, well, thank you. So we are actually, I think, going to watch the film. And yeah, I think that's where we're at. So
it's an hour and a half long. We're going to burn through our beers.
We're going to have to really burn through our beers. So hopefully, the eyes aren't too glossed over when we come back. Released in 2001 by Disney and Pixar. Please take time to watch along with us if you can and enjoy Monsters, Inc.